Hey, this is Mrs. Gooch's Bob. Mrs. Gooch's. That was the original Whole Foods. It was a restaurant. It was a food store in North Glendale, right above the freeway, and a wonderful store. I used to do demos there, and I got the hat. And I was just meeting with a friend of mine. I've known him for about 40 years. I've known everybody about 40, 50 years. And we were just celebrating life, celebrating victory, celebrating what God is doing. And as I walked out, he had his appointment, and he left about 20 minutes ago. But I'm just wrapping up. I take care of the bill, and I make sure the table's nice. And we never leave anything on the table. I always bust the table, make sure it's just perfect. And Lorraine and Maria out there. It's Rody's Restaurant out in San Dimas. And Lorraine's kids took little spoons, little tiny spoons, like a spoon, but a plastic spoon. And they drew with Sharpies, all these multiple color Sharpies. They drew, there's some kind of situation here. Crazy. I don't know what's happening. But the Caltrans are there. And it looks like somebody went over the edge, or there was a death or something happened, because they've got a whole big thing going on there. Let's see what's happening. Well, I think that they're evacuating someone who was camped out on the state property. And that's good to see that they're doing that here. This is San Dimas. So that person came from another town, and they felt like, hey, I'll close the window here. All right. But they felt as though, hey, we can just stay what we want. We can do what we want. Nobody can touch us. Maybe in Los Angeles, but not here. No, they don't allow that here. And people will call it in. And so that's what that was. So back to the spoons. So the spoons, the lady has these spoons, and I'm looking, I'm going, whoa, like some little tiny paintings on each spoon. It's a little white spoon, and I thought, wow. And I asked her about it, and that was so cool. As I walked out of the restaurant today, I had my big bag, my big Trader Joe's box bag, and I just been talking with my brother and going over all the comings and goings the last several weeks, maybe the last month or so, and I just discovered that it was just incredible what God has, been doing. And let's see if I can find that box. Well, I'm not going to get the box apparently. I don't know where it is. So, but on the box, I drew all these pictures and diagrams and all. And as I walked out of the restaurant, I've said that now 3 or 4 times, it just suddenly hit me. The reason that I am willing and I'm able to solve problems is because of the fact that I don't have any limits. My mind, I don't sit there and go, oh no, you can't do that. Like this whole service vehicle I have, I've created the whole thing all by my lonesome, pretty much, with God's help. I did that. It wasn't all my lonesome. With God's help, I made this service vehicle. If you looked around, I'm not going to do it right now because I get enough letters as it is. I don't get any letters. But right next to me, I have this compartmental thing. I must have about 8 or 9 different little boxy compartments so that I can pull out, my lighter. And I have a lighter there. And if I get stuck, I've got this seatbelt thing here. It kind of gets stuck in there. Here's a seatbelt thing. So you can break the glass, you can cut the belts, you can do everything to escape. How about that, huh? And I've got anything you might need, anything you might want. I got it all right here in my side compartment. I have all my folders, and headsets and batteries, and if you need a light, hey Bob, we need a bright light. Do you have a bright light of some sort? And I go, oh no bright lights here. So disco here. How am I able to do all these things? Well, it's very simple, because my name is Harry Lime. No, I'm not Harry Lime. Orson Welles was a character. The Holy Spirit has gifted me in so many ways. And so I come up with things that nobody's ever thought of because I listen and I'm willing to change. I listen, I'm willing to make the change. I listen, I'm willing to make the change. So many times over the years, my vehicles have just gone, the engine's gone, the vehicle's shot, forget about it. And so I go to a new vehicle, and then I update, and I improve, and I take what I know, and I add more, and I do more. And these batteries are a good example. Look at these batteries here, yes. Why do you have the tail, Bob? So I don't lose it. Look at it, see, look at it, it has all these things on there. I've never had these in my life, but just in the last month, the Lord showed me to do. So now I'm no longer using the big Makita batteries to charge my phones. I'm just using these. I have two of them, one for each car. But you have a backup. I just have two of them right here with me, and I have it for a backup just in case. And they charge pretty easily, and they've got Type-C ports in them, and they have a USB port. It's incredible. But I never did that before. I do a lot of things I've never did before. I'm going to right now to take care of this plumbing project at a 1936 home in Arcadia, and I'm going to be cutting a pipe. And I have a grinder for that, so I'm going to take, before I cut the pipe, I've got to make sure I talk with Jason, my friend at Red Supply in Pasadena on Rosemead. Go see him. And I'm just plugs for everybody here. I was at a party on Saturday, and I mentioned all these restaurants to go to, and the guys were like, no, they'd never been to any of them. They said, you've been everywhere. I said, yeah, I have. I've been a lot of places, for sure. So, I'm going to cut this pipe, but I've got to take the knuckle. There's a knuckle that comes with it. I've got to figure the knuckle is going to go into the valve, like so far, and then above the knuckle, I have to cut the pipe where it'll go back into the knuckle about a half an inch. So I've got to be really careful with where I cut this pipe. It can't be all jaggedy waggedy. It's got to be just right. And Jason recommended very strongly that I cut the pipe first and then take everything else apart. Because he says once I take, this person's racing by me, I'm going the maximum speed. I'm going just a couple miles an hour past the maximum speed just to kind of be safe, because my odometer is a little off. I give myself a grace of a couple miles per hour. But people are like, no, I want to go faster. As long as I'm not hitting somebody, I want to go faster than anybody. Like, here comes another person. They're going about 85 miles an hour. That's my estimation. 85. License plate number 619. Ooh, I don't know. People are just so funny. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I gotta call that in. I'm gonna get off the phone here because I see somebody there and they're just doing the wrong thing. They're outside their car, they're sitting on the ground trying to change a tire on the side of the road. They just had an incident 2 days ago on the 10 where a couple people were outside their car. Somebody had a problem. They ran into a car. It became a multi-car problem, and it was a murder, a death. Don't ever get out of your car in the freeway, ever. Stay in your car until the Highway Patrol have shut down the roadway. Then you can think about it, and even then, I would be careful. I can't emphasize that enough. But let's not let fear be our guide. Don't live by fear. Oh, no one's ever done this, so I better not try it. What? That's insane. Is it legal? Well, it's not illegal. Is it safe? Well, it's not unsafe. I mean, go through the basic common sense things, but if you want to put a special cup holder on your couch to hold that big gulp mug that you're keeping next to you with all the ice water in the world, well, then go ahead and go for it. Make put a big mug holder on your couch. There's probably wood underneath there. Screw right down and, no, Bob, no, the couch belonged to Abraham Lincoln's granddaughter. What? I doubt that. I really doubt that. And in this car, you can just look around and see that I don't worry about it. I understand that this car is just a tool. And I'm not here to run a TV show. And this is the model 2008 Volvo XC90. It's in mint condition. I'm not doing that. Nobody cares. There's a lot of mint condition 2008 Volvo XC90s. This car is supposed to serve me, and I'm serving other people. So this car is a service vehicle. It serves people around the world. So I don't need it to be perfect. On top, right in front of me, I have a tongue-shaped table. It comes out of the dash probably about 10 inches, and it has a little post that goes into the shelf. There's a little shelf where I keep my toothpicks. And then the shelf is covered with these clips. I've got these anvil clips, a lot of anvil clips. I always keep them handy just in case, to hold receipts and whatnot. And so that shelf is there, and it keeps my glasses. It keeps my nail clippers, erasers. It keeps, you make a mistake on the paper there. Okay, I've got this whiteout stuff. What are you doing, Bob? Folks, you just be driving me. Well, I stop. When I stop, I want to have all my stuff ready. So, and then if you don't have the Type-C charger, then like my daughter Bethany Rose, then I have the old-fashioned Apple charger there just in case. So I've got my speaker lined up. And it's funny because the setup I have on my dash where everything is at eye level, that's exactly what they have here for the Tesla. The Tesla is the same thing. They have a dashboard. That dashboard's actually down below. Mine's up here high where I can see it. So I'm 6'3", by the way. So I look at the top of my windshield. Anything down below, I don't really need it. So that's another problem. Another condition of my ability. All right, if you have any questions, give me a call. 213-713-8954. The lines are open. Call now. The first 5 callers will get a wonderful, happy high five from Mr. Bob. That's right. And if you want to go to coffee, if you like to go out and sit at Starbucks and have a visit, I'd be glad to go to breakfast or lunch with you. Yes, I've never done this before. I literally have never done this before. But maybe I'll get some people to come out. If you want to go to breakfast or lunch, give me a call. Let's work it out. And we'll be able to, to talk. And we will fellowship. We'll read God's Word together. We will testify of the goodness of God. And we can have, today I ordered a piece of sourdough toast. I wanted one piece of sourdough toast. They gave me 2 giant slices. So I immediately asked for a to-go box. I put the toast in the to-go box. And I cut off 1/4, one little slice. And on top of that, I put down peanut butter, raw sugar, powdered sugar, and syrup. I made my own toast. I made my own waffle, basically. And it was terrific. It tasted just great, and it didn't cost, cost like $4, and I have all this bread to take home. So I'll probably give to my neighbors. Hey, Maria. Hi there, Diego. Hello, Mama. Good to see you. Hey, everybody. So I'm always giving all the food away. I get home, I'm just like, no, I don't want all that food. I should save it, though, because next time I go to Roadie's, I'll just bring my own toast. Just ask to borrow some syrup. Well, if you have any questions, you want to go to lunch or dinner or breakfast. Now, Bob, setting up a dating app. I'm not setting up a dating app. I'm just saying, if you want to get together and have some fellowship, we can go to one of these restaurants I've talked about. I didn't mention Nick's Cafe. And we can just go and have some fellowship. You know, bring 3 or 4 people with you. We'll have a little Bible study. We'll have a little get together. Have a connection group. Have a whatever they call it nowadays. Koinonia. If you want to email me, you can email me at 8954green@att.net. That's 8954, the color green, att.net. If you'd like to use my ATM card, my code is, I'm not doing that, no. I've had the same code for years and years and years. I don't want to change it there. So, and that's it. If you've subscribed, if you've followed, if you've left lovely comments, push the microphone. Just push the microphone and you can talk. And guess what? The telephone will type everything up for you. Just proofread it. Make sure it's not allowing any crazy things in there. And you're going to be in good shape. All right. Any other questions? Anyway. Bueller. I love you.